How you doing, everybody? Today I'm gonna do a special video. It's kind of like an info video where I want to take this channel, and the whole idea and premise behind what I want to do now is I want to complete sets that I used to collect from childhood that I unfortunately got rid of right before the COVID boom happened with Pokemon. So this is my Wizard of the Coast binder, from base set to Team Rocket. But I'm also going to be doing everything, well, not everything, but like the sets that have Pokemon that I really enjoyed all the way up to X and Y era. That's the cutoff where I stopped. But I'm also going to be doing some of the more modern sets, which I've kind of already started. I'm doing Obsidian Flames, Temporal Forces. I started with Sword and Shield just because that's kind of like going up in price, so I figured I might as well get a little head start on it. And I think Rebel Clash is the other one that I'm like 80 to 90% complete. But the reason behind me wanting to do this all of a sudden is I came back recently from another trip to Japan, and I actually found a card that like got me back into wanting to collect, right? And that card being this Umbreon from the Versus series. So I love Umbreon. My favorite typing for Pokemon are Dark types, right? And I love the Karen character in both the manga and the video games. So I figured if I was gonna buy any card at any point in my life, it would probably be this one. So this is like my grail. So I picked it up. I sent it in for grading. I figured it was gonna get a 9. Just because Japanese cards are usually like in really good condition compared to like Western cards here. So I figured why not pull the trigger, and this just caused a snowball effect. And I'll show you a little bit later in the video. But I'm going to go through all the base set cards that I have, Fossil Jungle and Team Rocket. And eventually I'm going to start doing like vlogs as I go through like card shows, conventions, my local Pokemon League. I'm probably gonna do like IRL, like playing the card game. I've been dabbling into that a little bit. I'm still trying to get the hang of the meta, but I'm more of a collector. You know, I collect video games and cards, so I'm probably gonna do a little bit of both. But I mean, that's enough talk. Let's get into the binder. So I got most of the hollows. I do have Blastoise, Venusaur, but I sent them in to get graded. I'm probably just gonna break them just because they're more of a binder, I guess, condition type of card, and I really don't want to spend more money on something that I already have. I have the Charizard. It's actually, luckily enough, I've kept that from my childhood, so it's a Shadowless Charizard. I'll probably show it in one of the videos once I complete base set. But I got most of the hollows, and then I have most of the rares, and it goes on to the uncommons. So as you can see, I just have a couple of cards that I'm missing. I just been picking them up as I've been going to like card shows, and then some of them I've been picking up from local vendors in my area and TCG Player, but TCG Player takes quite a bit of time to get here for some reason. So we're on to Jungle. Jungle is probably the one that I'm missing the most cards in. It's not my most favorite set, but it's one of the sets that I'm probably gonna try to get the most of because it's a very small set, and it's not too hard just because like people prefer Fossil and of course base set, right? So we got almost all the uncommons, I believe, yeah. And then I think this is a Venonat that goes here. And I do have that. I just haven't put it in the binder for whatever reason. We go on to Fossil. I have duplicates of all these Fossil cards. So I'm probably going to use those as trade just so I can get other cards. So I can kind of increase the budget on what we can get. I have most of the Fossil, I believe. I'm just missing a couple of like the non-hollows and hollows, which would be this whole page. And then I think maybe, well, actually, I think I have all the uncommons and sorry, all the commons already. I I think it ends in this mysterious fossil. So it's just the holo rares and the non-holo rares that I actually need for that. And then we continue on. We have Team Rocket. So it has some of the bigger cards in here, being the Charizard, the first edition Dark Dragonite. I have the Dark Blastoise, the normal version of the Dragonite. I'm missing pretty much all the holos. The reason I'm not going as hard into Team Rocket as of now is because when I picked up this Umbreon, it kind of got me started in this whole collecting and completing sets, right? So I picked up the VS set. I have about half of it complete. But then I also picked up 100% of the Team Rocket set in Japanese. So I figured I could put the English Team Rocket set on, not on hold, but like I'm not going to be primarily going after that as much as I am the other ones, just because I already have it in the Japanese set. So it would be this one. We go through it. I think the last card I had to pick up was the Dark Charizard, and I was trying to find not like a mint version of a card, just because like you can get light plate cards and they're great binder copies, right? There's usually like silvering or maybe like a little bit scuffing and all, like on the back of the cards. But overall, if it's a nice binder card, I picked it up, right? So the Dark Charizard was the last one that I couldn't find one in at least a light plate condition until I believe I was in Nagoya, and I walked into a little shop just because I saw a banner for Yu-Gi-Oh boxes, which is another TCG that I like collecting for, and just randomly had like one case of Pokemon cards for sale, and it just happened to be there, so I picked it up just because it was either I kept looking or I just picked it up so I can finish the whole set while I was there, and it was a little bit more memorable for me, right? So the condition is, it's not bad, right? It's pretty good. I was comfortable enough picking it up that it would be a nice binder copy. Obviously, probably wouldn't grade it just because like it has a little mark right there, little nick. But overall, it was a great condition. I think I picked it up for like $40. So it wasn't too bad, but I completed that set. And then that's what triggered pretty much me wanting to complete most of the sets that I liked collecting as I was growing up, basically. And then these last ones are left open because I want to collect all the Wizard of the Coast promo cards. So, I mean, the HMU being one of like the most common one that people know, right? Some of those can be pretty expensive. I think the Pokemon Center one is pretty expensive, but I'll work my way through it. You know, eventually we'll get some openings and we'll get some cards that we can trade. I do have like a bunch of graded cards that I'm kind of like, I don't want to say I'm done grading cards, but like they're not my priority anymore. So like I don't mind getting rid of like this Rainbow Pikachu, which I should have done when it first came out. The Secret Rare Moltres, I'm on the fence about because I am collecting Supreme Victors. It's one of the sets, and I'm gonna need it. So but I don't want to break it out. You know, if that makes sense, right? Because it's still a pretty expensive card as a 9. So if I can maybe trade this for like a raw card, then it would make sense for me, right? Marnie, I believe this one was a decent amount when it first came out. I have like 4 of these, so I just figured getting rid of one. And then this one, I'm not the biggest Reshiram fan, but man, this card looks so good. I think it's like a $300 to $400 card right now, at least from the last time I checked. So I mean, being able to trade this in or cash it out will help me complete more of the sets that I want to do, which I think at this point it's like 20 to 22 sets that I want to do, including the Versus set that I have to do. But that one I specifically want to get when I'm in Japan, because that's what I did with the Team Rocket set. Is I completed that set during my vacation over there. I was there for about a month and a half, almost 2 months, but it kind of only took me like 2 weeks to complete it. Most of the common ones were pretty easy to find. It's just a couple of the rares that were a little difficult. I think the hardest holo that I was struggling with was this Dark Golbat, actually. I couldn't find it anywhere till I was picking up, I think I was picking up some of the VS sets in Shibuya, and I managed to find this one, and then I think it was the Arbok, the Magneton, and then the Flareon were all in like one row of each other, so I just cleared them out, right? But yeah, so that's my idea behind it. I know like collecting sets and like completing master sets of Pokemon cards is, I guess, more of a common thing nowadays. I'm not too keen on completing master sets just because, like, I would rather not spend more money on a reverse holo of a card when I already have the card, right? If I pull it and it's reverse foil, cool. If I find it and it's a neat card, I might pick it up, but I'm not going to go out of my way, at least not right now. What I want to do right now is just complete sets, because it brings me joy seeing all these cards and binders, knowing that when I was a little kid and I opened my first base set pack, I didn't get a Charizard, but I did get a Shadowless Charizard on my 5th pack. So I'm trying to recreate all those memories, and now that I'm older, I have all this free time, all this extra money that I can spend, and just throw it at a hobby that I really enjoyed, and it brings me joy. And the Pokemon community is awesome. I've met so many people through leagues that I can't put it into words, like how awesome the Pokemon community comes together when people need help, or when they're trying to go on like a challenge, or they just are looking for a specific card, right? So I hope that you guys enjoyed the video. If you want to come along with me on this journey, which is probably going to take a lot of time, a lot of money, and a lot of searching, please do subscribe. You know, drop the video a like if you're up for this challenge with me. Let me know in the comments below what is your favorite card from whatever set. It doesn't have to be modern. It could be vintage. It could be Japanese. It could be the Topps cards for, you know. Just let me know. For me, obviously, it's the Archetypes, but it is not Umbreon. Umbreon's technically my number 3 Pokemon. For me, it'd be Houndoom. Houndoom and Typhlosion. So Typhlosion being my 1, Houndoom being my 2nd, and Umbreon being my 3rd. So with that, hopefully I get to see you guys in the next video. Peace out.